So I'm recording right now. So I want to share with you guys during my, not my typical power hour, you know, not my messaging and adding friends and following up and stuff like that, but what I do in addition to my power hour, and I try to do it at least a couple times a week. Sometimes if I get a really good session, if I actually like get my ass up when I'm supposed to, then I've got peace and quiet and I can actually knock out a lot of posts. And so those posts are, and that's where, you know, how I had showed them before, and that you're familiar with how I use my calendar, but others may not know how I use this calendar as well, is yes, it helps to just remember what dates, you know, our challenge groups and all those things. But I use it, and there's weird numbers all over the place, 6, 3, 9, 12. And those are just the times that I have already scheduled a post. So then that gives me the time to be able to pay attention. Like I normally will post, I know what time I normally post my workouts and my Shakeology, you know, my Shakeology theme. So I try not to have a scheduled post around that time, because then that just sort of bogs up people's newsfeed. But during the day, anytime between like noon and like 5, sometimes just becomes just sort of like, and I don't have time, or I forget to actually post and have something that's cohesive and useful. So that's when I know I need to post things, whether they are actual invites to my next challenge group, whether it's a free one, whether it's a coach opportunity or whatnot, or if it's just funny. It could just be a post, it can be a viral video, it can just be something sort of silly. And so I like to alternate those, because that just gets more people to view your page. You know, so you don't want it to be too predictable that like, oh my gosh, every day, you know, she posts at, you know, 6, 9, 12, 2, and 4. You know, you don't want to be so robotic where people start to be like, every day she posts at these same times. Like no one's that perfect. But then it also is good to alternate, and you know your people when you look at your insights on your Fit page, whether like that peak time. And so that peak time that people are on, I like to alternate, whether it's an actual invite, so people are actually then seeing it, but then also some days I alternate it and I will just do something fun or thought-provoking or a question to start getting people more engaging in my page. And I'll be honest, you know, my page doesn't get a ton of interaction. I get more people who like and then message me because of those posts. And I'm okay with that. A lot of times what ends up getting more interaction is when I share those posts onto my personal page. Then people start, and it's the same damn people who like my Fit page. I don't know why they feel more comfortable to talk on my personal page when there's a whole lot more people, but it's all right. So I do that. I also share at least 3 of my posts a day from my Fit page to my personal page. I don't want to do too many, because I don't want it to be, you know, then it defeats the purpose of having 2 pages. But it is sometimes useful to share that post that was really good to get people to redirect people back to that page. Other times it's good to just completely make it on an authentic post. So you could do the exact same wording and just use a different picture versus sharing. And you just sort of have to play around with it sometimes. There's no exact science to it. Another thing that I like to do is, and I have a ton of like email subscriptions, whether it's like different people from, and I'll show you what I have. And I use their recipes because sometimes if it's always Beachbody themed or 21-day fix, then it's not as interesting. Or people, they see it like, oh, that's just, you know, super healthy and I can't eat that. But they don't notice that like a lot of the other ones that I do share, they're still healthy. It's just not 21-day fix approved. So I'm going to share my screen and you'll get to see my emails that I have. And I have I just cleaned this out, which thank God, because there were so many. It was ridiculous. So what I do is so I follow this girl. Her name is Steph Goodrow, and she's more of like a paleo, I don't know, bodybuilder, I guess. And I like her blog. She has a really awesome podcast too. I don't like all of her content, but I like some of her recipes. So say like this one. And she's really good at like these one-liners, like these subject lines that get you to like, well, what's this, you know? So I'll use it, you know, before you suffer through another boring breakfast. That's going to get people to be like, okay, what does she have to say? You know, it's a scroll stopper. And so she's just talking about how she surveyed a bunch of her readers and about recipes, and a popular was tasty breakfast, and that led to the subject of eggs. So she went ahead and wrote a blog post about 5 unexpected egg recipes. So what I did was I used that same tag, before you suffer through another boring breakfast, and went ahead and shared these 5 unexpected egg recipes. Now, I'm not sharing the actual recipes. I'm sharing the names and the pictures. And at the end of my post, I say, if you want to try any of these yummy recipes, message me or email me to get the full recipe. You know, so I'm giving them a little bit, it's like a little breadcrumb. I'm teasing them. They get to see the pictures. They look super yummy. They're still healthy. It's going to be a little bit different trying to figure out, you know, the difference as far as, you know, how they fit in our containers, but it's just another approach. You know, maybe not everyone's going to want to do our containers right off the bat. You know, we got to ease them into sort of readjusting how to eat clean. That, you know, going to Wendy's and getting a salad is not clean eating. That's when your food prep fail. So that's sort of how I get people, you know, pictures. People love pictures, and that scroll stopper. So this one, before you suffer through. And then at the end, that call to action, having them do something. If you want, if you liked any of these recipes, you know, reach out to me, message me, contact me. And so then I've saved some of them on my computer. Or you just save the email. And if somebody asks you, so like say if someone did ask me for one of these recipes, like, I've actually shared this one before years ago. So say like this one is avocado BLT egg salad, right? So if somebody was interested in this, I don't have to send them this link. I literally can just copy this. I can copy paste it either into a message. I can copy paste it into an email, copy paste it into a Word, save it as a file, and then send it to them. And I can always give credit, you know, to where it came from. You know what I mean? So as long as you're not like saying that they're your 5 recipes you found that you created, but you can say you found these 5 recipes that are really yummy, and that's perfectly fine. Or like I follow this one, like Inside Success or Seeds of Success. And this stuff we can get to on our Coach Online Office. We have full access to this one. But they do really great stuff. And there's a podcast, so like 5 steps to personal greatness. So if you wanted to do like, sometimes these give me ideas on what to talk about when I go live. And I use this as sort of like my talking points. So if I go live and I want to say, you know, 5 steps to personal greatness. Look inward to know yourself and achieve outward goals. And then you can talk about these 5 different steps. You know, so this counts as doing your personal development by reading it, but then you can also share it too and share the content, and you have something to read off of. And then you can refer people to say, if you want to know where I got this, message me, contact me, you know, you can check it out at success.com. So you're just another vessel sharing the information. So all of your information that you share, it doesn't have to be all organically created by you or thought of by you. You can share with other people the things that you find, emails that you receive. You just give credit, obviously, and give your source of where you found it. The success one is run by Darren Oline, who I get like daily text messages and motivational emails from him as well. So you can use that. Like you see, like I have tons of this stuff, girl. I've got a bunch of like inside success, seed success. What else? Because I don't really like to use tons of like the recipes that we find on Facebook, because then you start to notice the ones that we like as Beachbody coaches, all the other Beachbody coaches like them and start sharing those videos. So I like to stand apart a little bit in that. And so that's where I like finding these other people. You know, like even Shalene has really good one-liners and has really good wording and content and how to like invite people to her groups, to her trainings. And Danielle Natoni, like I follow her. She has every Friday, she's got one called Funky Friday. So every Friday she shares her top 5 different things. And I've sort of saved some of them on my computer because I'm going to start doing, because she does Funky Friday, I'm going to do Sassy Saturday to go along with my name. And I'm going to share like one thing, like one product, it's usually a product or book or whatever that I am either like in love with, that I use on a daily basis. So it's just something that sets apart from always sharing about recipes, moves of the days, workouts, challenge groups, all that kind of stuff. It makes me a little bit more well-rounded, you know. So people are going to want to know, like, what product do you use for your hair? What kind of glitter do you use for your makeup? You know, now that you use glitter, you know. So those are little things that's another post that you can do, and that you could pre-schedule that too ahead of time. On Saturdays, like I've got like my favorite makeup remover is now this white cloth from Unique. Love it. And so that's what I use now. Like I'm probably going to end up getting that for everybody for New Orleans because it doesn't leave a nasty film, and you literally you could get away with just doing that and not washing your face. Like it takes everything off, and it doesn't dry out your skin. And I have like combinations of oily and dry. So sometimes I'd be like super dry here, and then I'm like still a shine ball here after I take off makeup. Or, you know, talking about how I love the book Relentless, and so I'm probably going to listen to it again. You know, so share, you know, personal development book, or like my favorite, like, you know, peanut butter. What else? Like my journal, you know, sharing that, you know. So it's just all those things that we like overlook that we don't realize, you know. Like maybe you have a certain coconut oil brand that you love to use. That's something that's a post. That's something that you share. That's about you, you know. Maybe you have a certain extra like vitamin that you like to use, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like skincare line. I'm not loyal to any hair product. I buy whatever the heck is on sale, or whatever I find in the 99-cent store at that time. Just because I go through so much of it, I can't afford like this fancy schmancy, you know, like $30 bottle of conditioner and shampoo, because I'll probably be spending like, you know, $200 a month if I did that. So I just want to get everyone just to make it a little bit easier on like what to think of and how to just build more content, so it's not so it's more well-rounded, and it's not so heavily focused on fitness and eating. Those are essential, But sometimes those are turnoffs for people who are really self-conscious and overwhelmed already. So if they have another way to connect with you, then that's beneficial. And I even have it even in my personal page. I have just way too many things that like I avoid. Like I have 753 emails here that I avoid. I avoid looking at, but it gives me ideas on what I can share. So I even like follow this guy Matthew Husey. I think he's always talking about like how to get the guy is his brand. But he has really great tips on how to start conversations and how to get people to actually respond back to you. He talks about obviously more about the opposite sex, but it still works for anybody. And what else? Oh, and then I wanted to show you like Teamzy. So I've been using Teamzy now. This is like my second full week doing it. The first week I sort of had a little, I didn't really listen to the entire tutorial, so that was my fault as far as how I screwed up my messaging. So ultimately, the way that Teamzy is instead of having to use like an Excel file like I was doing before, or having like a million different papers and notebooks, this is all automated. It keeps track of all of your friends. So it shows you how to go onto Facebook and download this like data file. And out of the data file, you'll find one file that's your friends. And it will and you just upload it onto here, and then it has all of your Facebook friends already there. And then same thing, you can go onto your Coach Online Office and you can upload all your customers. Boom, and it's already into the system. Same thing with all your coaches, already into the system. And then you set a goal of what you want to earn, how much you want to earn in the next year. And then it tells you in order to earn that, it already does the math to figure out how many prospects you need to message, how many customers, how many coaches, how many invites, and people you need to add each day in order to get towards that goal, which is really nice. Instead of feeling like, some months you see people who have messaged like 40 people, 70 people, 100 people, and then, but that could be one day. Like it's unrealistic to think that you're going to be able to message 70 people every single day and be consistent and have something unique to say, and it not just be a cut, paste so many different times. And then you can't keep track of who the hell you messaged, who you're talking to, what they said, or any of that stuff. So I like this, and that every day I just come on here and it tells me how many I need to. Now I did more than I needed to. I think it's like I have to message 5 prospects, and I think it's 3 or 4 customers, 2 coaches a day, 4 invites, and I think it's like 5 ads. So at least that is your minimum that you need to get for that day in order to work towards that big goal that you have, or however much money you want to make by the end of the year. And so you just click on your tab, so prospects, so anybody that you want to message. And then there's ranking, as far as this ranking. And it explains it to you when you do your when you do your training. So obviously a 5 is someone who's like very, very interested, and you want to follow up with them, in a couple days. 4, maybe you sent out a link and they want to think about it. 3 is sort of like you're in middle. 2, they say like, contact me back in a month. And 1, you know what a 1 is. 1, they just maybe want to be like a free group, or maybe they've already been a coach and they keep quitting, so you do a 1. And really why they rank it is just that the higher the number, the more frequent you're going to see them on your list to message and to contact. So you've got customers, same thing, you have coaches, and then I don't have any follow-ups because I haven't changed the rank on a lot of these. But what I love about this, and really what is that the scripts. So they've already given you a really great start. So if you have never contacted somebody, your first connection, here's where you could, this is like, you know, your what's up message, you know, just stop by to say hello, how are you? I hope your day is awesome. You know, that could even be with someone just accepted your friend request. This could be the message that you send. So you would copy, you go to this person's name, you type it here. Now when you paste it here, it's not going to automatically send it to that person. This is just you logging history so that you can keep track on one place the different messages you've sent. So you still have to go to Facebook and message that person. Does that make sense? That's what I messed up when I first did it. I thought, oh, well, I've already signed in. It's connected to my Facebook. Why is it that I can't see anybody, any of the messages that I sent? Well, that's it. They're not connected to our Facebook page. We just can sign in. So we can say that we send it as a Facebook message, but we still have to go to our Facebook page and send that message. And so then I would log connect, and then it would be in, then there would be an activity you'd be able to see. So like Annette, so you're in here as a coach, and oh, hold on. Oh, I have to click coach. Ta. I don't know why it doesn't have activity feed. I've sent you a message. Well, let's try somebody else that I did today. Bad example. Crap. And there you're going to see some people in here twice. And that's just because some people were a customer first and then they turned coach. So they're going to be in here twice. So here's Judy. So all her info is here. And then you can see when I messaged her. So it's sort of cool in that it keeps track of everything. You have one space, one area, so you can have all of their information you can save here. If you want to write any notes, so that's where like you could write, you know, details about what they responded to you on Facebook, you know, like interested in, you know, greenberry flavor and wants to try 22-minute hardcore. Follow up in 30 days. If that makes sense, you know, so then that's done. And you've got it all in one area and you just have to look up their name. Now, if they end up buying something, then you would click sale and you could do challenge pack, if they did just Shakeology or other sale. And then you would save it. When you want to invite somebody, you would click this little invite and then you would write down what type of invite was it. So I sort of like that too, because now I can keep track of all the people. So let's see, who did I, oh, okay. So I added new people. So I think it was Magda, if I could spell. So Magda, I sent her an invite. Right? So I said, I hope this message finds you well and you're excited for spring and warmer weather coming. By the way, thank you for liking my recent video I shared of yummy potato skins. And then I go in about, you know, my invite for my next challenge group. And if you know anyone who's ready to commit and would want to learn more, send them my way. We start March 13th. Simple. Excellent. So, and then I ranked her as a 4. So do you see how that can sort of make it a little bit easier? It already sort of gives you ideas. Okay, these are people that you can message today. Done. Here are customers that you can message today. And I don't have any other coaches right now. Oh, I could message you today. So it takes that whole guesswork and that whole like, oh my gosh, I don't know who I'm going to just, you know, invite or reach out to today. The program already does it for you just sort of randomly. And then anytime you add friends, you just type add contact and you type in their name. So like I just had a new person accept my friend request, April. So April Stewart. So I'll write her name, click add, but then I also want to go down here because there's no Facebook page name. I want to pick, oh shoot. It'd be good if I copy pasted her page. Copy paste her page website.
Where did you see that?
So I went on to her actual page. I clicked on her name. And then I'm able to copy paste it.
Oh, okay.
So like we all have that. So instead of like, I just pretty much I went open a new tab instead of clicking on it. And so it just opens it up. There is her page website, I guess you want to call it. And I pasted it. So now if I want to message her, I want to connect with her. I will send something like this. Hi, April, just stopping by to say thank you and accepting my friend request. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. And then I'm also going to add my challenge group invite script. So I can say invited her to a challenge group. I send it as a Facebook message. I'm going to copy that, log it, then I now actually have to message. And that was the part that I missed when I did it last week, was I logged everything on Teamzy, but I didn't actually go to Facebook and do it. So it sort of sucked. So I had to go back through and figure out who the hell did I log a message to and go back on Facebook and do it right. So it's a little bit of back and forth, having to go back between Facebook and Teamzy. But I like that it's just much simpler. I don't have to stress about who am I going to message or how many people have I messaged. Did I do enough invites? You know, like I can clearly separate it all and see. And then no matter where I'm at, I can do, Judy actually says she logs on to her phone and she can do this so she can see what people she needs to do. So she likes that you can still do it on your phone. It's still okay on your phone, but that you can log in anywhere. So if you're, you know, not at home, you can log into any computer. You don't have to worry about it. And that was my problem, was that if I'm not at home, I can't access my Excel file. So I'm sort of screwed. Or like my Google Docs was sort of a pain in the ass because sometimes it doesn't look the same, either on my phone or a tablet, you know, versus on my computer. It looks the way it should. So I definitely see value in this. And it's nice, you know, make sure that you did your daily, which I just finished mine. So you get it all here. Your basic power hour can get done so fast because I don't have to worry about and scroll through Facebook and waste time to figure out who I should reach out to and who I should message.
So they just put those names right there for you.
Yeah. Yep. And if I like say like I know, I don't know, maybe like this person, or say like this person, I don't really think that they're going to that they're that interested. So I just bring them down a rank, and then they'll come up with another one. Like anytime I see a guy's name, I give him a 1.
Right.
Just because it's not my target, it's not my reach. It's just not good, right. You know. So yeah, anytime I see a guy's name, I just put a 1, or sometimes I'll just delete them. Like I deleted my husband. Like I don't need his name coming up as an option to to reach out and message. So it's sort of cool that I don't have to worry about that. And that they separate it. Prospects, customers. Customers are all straight from the file that I downloaded from the Coach Online Office, which is cool. And I love that it teams.
Wait, go back and show me how you did it.
I have to look at. So my business, customer search. Why is this being so slow? Well, that didn't work. What's up with the website? Okay, let's try this again. I don't know why I didn't do it. Okay, and then you're just going to go Excel and then export. And it'll download onto your computer. Then you have to go to Teamzy. And settings. I'm not in La La Land. I'm on a team call. Like when you set this up, as soon as you say like you want to do Teamzy, they walk you through every single step. Like I love it. The guy who's in charge of Teamzy, he has his own like video and he like shows you, walks you through the steps, and then lets you do it. So I think it's really cool. So the customer data is where you would go and you would import. And it just takes a little second, and then you'll have, ta-da, like me. You have a list of customers that you do it, and then you download coaches. So same thing. You would do the similar thing, but you would do, I think you would go down to personally sponsored coaches. And same thing, Excel, export.
Okay.
But that's what I did enjoy about this was that I was like, oh my gosh, like, he has like an intro video talking about, you know, importing, you know, from your Coach Line office, and he uses the terminology, and importing from your Facebook friends and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I have no flipping clue how to do this crap. But then and when you click next and it goes through like, okay, so here are the steps. Hi, good morning. Here are the steps of what you're of what you're going to need to do if you want to upload your customers. And he says, upload your customers first and then your coaches. Because somehow with the system, if you upload your coaches first and then your customers, like a red flag comes up. I think just because, I mean, natural process is you start as a customer and then you become a coach. So in the system, they just need it to go that route. And it just, I don't feel like I avoid messaging now. Like I don't dread it as much, you know. I'm like, oh, I actually like it. Because like there are customers that I'm not friends with on Facebook, you know, like probably this person. So I can go to details and I can see their email, phone number, address. So I might just go ahead and just email this person. And in scripts, oh look, they have sample emails. So it makes it so much easier. If I've never talked to this person, here's my first introduction. You know, very similar to what I sent you, you know. But this is just a much simpler wording when you get that Beachbody lead. Or say you know you've already messaged that person, you just want to have a second connection. So you can do this one. To Beachbody coach again, just checking in to see if I can be of help. I have an accountability group, starts on da-da-da, you change it. And you can add to these as well. Following up when there's interest in a challenge group. So I'm going to probably do this. I might change it up just a little bit, but at least it gives me a good idea of where to start to those people who participated in our bikini booty challenge last week. You know, following up with them.
I participated.
Did
my bikini on.
Be quiet. It's working the booty. Go away. Goodness me. Or this one is just if you're just reconnecting with like a past customer who's sort of been MIA. So I like that. You know, they have text messages. So asking for recommendations during a challenge group. This is during just a normal conversation. If someone asks to join your group. So see how I like it? It may not be a perfect system because you have to go back and forth between Facebook and Teamzy, but the scripting, I do like the scripting. I mean, I have a ton of scripts, but this is actually really nice too.
And you wouldn't lose them.
No. These are on here. And you can add. So if you want to add any scripts, add a new one. So I have one. See, I have like my Hey Girl one. Or after a sale. You know. So there are many different scripts. Whether it's a greeting card, it might be a little bit different wording and options versus a phone call. Some of them are the same. So you'll see that like you can use the same. We're setting the tone for a recommendation. I'm really excited to help you through the program. If you stick with me, we'll get those results you want. You see, my business depends on getting you results because then you'll be a walking, talking billboard for me. All I ask is that while we're working together, if you come across anyone who might benefit from a fitness program, superfood nutrition, or even just someone to talk about their health, that you message me with their name and contact info, and I'll take it from there. Sound good?
Get down.
You know, so.
I like that one.
Yeah, right? So there's like,
hey,
I may
talking. I gotta take the dog out.
Okay.
But I'm listening.
Like I may not use like the wording like my business depends on getting you results. You know, like I might say like my success depends on you getting results. But in a nutshell, the scripts at least set the tone and give you a jumping off start, and you can change it however you want it to be, which is really nice. Like if you have a customer who disappeared from the group, like we have a lot of those a lot of times, and so this one can just be sort of non-threatening, just saying good morning, checking in with you to tell you I'm rooting for you. You know, nothing like where have you been, what's going on, how can I help you? Theo, come here. My kids are throwing stuff at each other. So I really like that. You sort of have to just play around and see the different scripts. Some of them are the same options, whether you're going on Instagram or Snapchat. I think they're the same in Facebook. Those are all the same scripts. Phone calls are going to be a little bit different. Same with emails because they can be a little bit longer. But I really like that option. And I think now they have the option that if you want to send an email, you can actually do that through Teamzy because you have to use your email to sign in. But I don't really want to rely on Teamzy to send any of my messages right now because I'm still so green and new with this that I'm perfectly fine with just using Teamzy as my log. And then just copy pasting, which is perfectly fine. And so, it shows you your activity. So clearly you all know, like I was gone out of my house Thursday, Friday, Saturday, came home Sunday. And so now I'm back doing my daily things on Teamzy. I mean, while I was away, yes, I was still messaging. I probably wasn't messaging as often or as many people as I have been when I've been using Teamzy. And so even when you're on here, you can go and look at your team. So you can look your coaches, you can see your list and how you've ranked them. You can look at your entire customer list and see how you've ranked them. And so what's nice too is that you can see when was the last time you had activity, meaning the last time you messaged those people. So if on your dashboard you don't like the options that they have given you, just go to team. And then you'll see here, your team members. You can look at just recently added. You can look at prospects. And you can see like, so Marcus A. James, I probably should just delete. He's a top Herbalife distributor. But I really like his motivations, like his videos are very like motivational. So I keep him as a friend, but I probably don't need to keep him in here, right? Same with like Eduardo. I think he's like one of my husband's like former students. Probably don't need him in here. And then anytime, and that's like another one of my husband's students, you know, so anytime you see like a 1, they're usually men and or they're my husband's students. So not going to do that. But after a while, you know, you can see like I've never messaged any of these people. So if I have more time, I'm like, hey, you know, I want to get a few more messages out. Go ahead. Like, oh, like Rollins. I should change Rollins to 1. Rollins is a master trainer with Beachbody. So I probably could just actually delete him. Yes. Yeah, or like my father-in-law. We can delete him. He ain't gonna be working out. He doesn't even run. And he lives in New York. So that's not gonna work. Or like this is like my husband's grandmother, so my children's great-grandmother. She's like almost 90. I don't need her in here. She's not gonna be, I'll need her to have a heart attack and die because I try to get her to do something, right? So yeah, I like this where you can still see when you last spoke to somebody. You can see if you've never spoken to them. So if you want to message some more people, you can. And it's still separated. It's still separated between your prospects, your customers, and your coaches. And if I click on someone, I'll see the information.
If you add someone on your Facebook page, does it automatically go here?
No. I wish, but no. Anytime you add somebody.
Oh yeah, you add.
Yeah, so anytime you add someone or they add you, then yeah. So just, you know, every week, you can just do like once a week, you know, just go to your actual personal page, click friends, and then click recently added. And then you'll get to see who either you recently added or who recently, you know, accepted your friend request. And then, yeah, you'll have to go one by one and add it. But, you know, right then and there, that's, you know, that could be your power hour. That can take up, you know, all the people you need to invite, whether it's just a thank you for a friend request, or you could actually, you know, a thank you and invite them to a challenge group. So it's going to be, yes, a little bit of time, but it really is not a major time sucker. I've noticed really for me, it saves me time because I am not scrolling through Facebook so much. I'm literally just going there to message, done, and click and come back to Teamzy. I'm spending more time on Teamzy during my power hour than I am on Facebook, which is like the opposite of what I used to do. It was hard to, you know, separate when I would be trying to do my power hour on Facebook. And a lot of times too, like I don't even pay attention when somebody responds back to me. Like I have 4 messages and I'll respond back to them a little later. But it's like you get excited, like you want to see, you know, you want to see this circle filled. Just like anybody, they want to see like things accomplished. So I need to message two of my coaches, at least something, you know, just like here. Even the messages to your coaches are different. So you're doing great. I'm proud of you. Congratulations on fill in the blank. Or just checking to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Those are like Facebook ones. Like, see, they even have like a new coach. If a new coach signs on, they even have an email for you. You know, like they've done so much of the work that like I had to figure out or I had to create as a new coach that this is like a no-brainer if you're a newbie coach, or if you're lost, if you lack sort of like organizational skills, or just trying to have a routine. This is going to create it for you without any problems. And I like that you can add your own scripts as well, because you can add those 8 steps, in the inviting process in here as well. You just click scripts and you add new script, and you type it in and you save it. Like this one, probably delete because there's nothing in there. So that's all I want. That's just what I wanted to share with you guys, just to help you, maybe be more efficient and less afraid of your power hour and messaging people. Because I know for me that's always been my downfall, is messaging. I'm great at showing up, doing my posts, inviting, having those inviting posts, but when it comes to actual one-on-one and creating those conversations out of the blue, I dread it. Of course, it's easy when you have somebody who likes your post or comments, and then it's easy to start that conversation. But to just out of the blue try and start a conversation with somebody on social media, even for me, just starting a conversation with somebody in person can sort of be really painful, and I would rather avoid it. Sometimes small talk is like, oh, this is so much work to have to try to do this, or to be the one that's leading the conversation. I keep trying to keep the conversation going. It can get really exhausting when you're trying to rack your brain and figure out, well, what else can I talk about to get this person to want to even just share something about themselves.
Right.
So I think Teamzy did a really fantastic job working with Beachbody in that aspect to give us a really great foundation and baseline to start the conversations. And what's really awesome too is that like Danielle did a Teamzy call yesterday. And so Kim shared it, and I'm going to watch it again. I really couldn't focus when I was watching it because of my kids. But Teamzy offers that to everybody who has a Teamzy account. They offer to have a team call, a team training call, to be able to help walk you through it, explain all the benefits of this and how you can really utilize it to help maximize your time, but really to help increase and boost your business. So I just thought that was really another thing that was really awesome, that this company is willing to take the time to do webinars for us. Like usually it's just, here, we gave you a video training, set it up, figure it out, like PostCron does that, all of those other things. They don't have a webinar. They don't offer it to you. They email me up the butthole, like, do I want to upgrade my account and this and that? But they never actually offer something free to actually help better our business. And so then that's going to free you time to be able to come up with creative posts, with being able to actually schedule your posts ahead of time. I try to make sure that I have at least 4 to 5 posts already pre-scheduled on my Facebook page. And that is because just in case shit happens, like this past weekend, I'm out of my house, I'm out of my element, out of my routine. And so when that happens, you sort of lose track of what you normally would do. So I was late on, doing my Shakeology post, or I would completely miss my Shakeology post because, I'm all discombobulated, I'm not at home. So at least then I'm not MIA on my social media. It's not like, oh, well, crap, where did Kristen go? It's the weekend. They at least see that I'm still present. I'm still sharing things. It may not be the same stuff that I always do, but it's still something related. Do you know what I mean? So that helps to just get in that mode. So like the other day, when you were in court, having posts already scheduled can sort of help you so that even though your life is busy, your life is sort of, going upside down, your business can still plug and chug, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it just helps you. Then you feel less guilty. Then you feel like, like, oh crap, I didn't do shit today for my business. You don't have to feel like that. Some days, just the minimum. It could be just the pre-scheduled ones. Other days, you went above and beyond, and that's okay. It happens. We're not perfect. I don't have. Yes, I probably should wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but now that I don't have to because my kid doesn't go to school till the afternoon, I'm going to wake up at 6:30 or 7. I would like to be able to get 6-7 hours of sleep versus 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Just a thought. I might actually function better. I might be nicer, or I might actually have some better, brilliant ideas and aha moments with just those few extra hours of sleep. Versus, okay, some people get up at 5, and they get all of their stuff done in the morning, but I'm pretty sure they're probably in bed by 9 o'clock. I am not. My husband came home at like 10:45 and he wanted to cook and talk and hang out, and I'm like, can I go to bed now? He's like, well, I wanted to hang out. I'm like, babe, I love you, but this is not a time to hang out. I need sleep. Like, please, call me later. Call me in the afternoon at a normal time. So that's where it saves me. Like I know now, like today you had to do like a double, you're training, you got, people that you're training, So that work can come in handy where you're pre-scheduling. So if you've got a crazy day, and you don't have that downtime like you usually do, you're still getting some stuff out there.
Right.
Even like your move of the day. You know what I mean? Like I know you like to do that like organically and do it with your team. But sometimes you might be like, this week is just gonna be really hectic. So pre-record some of those. And then you can pre-schedule when they go out, and it just helps with your sanity, and you can always, and then, like we did with the bikini booty, then when you have time, then you do the actual move and you do a post and show. But don't feel like you have to do everything like organically and at that moment.
Right.
I think that will help alleviate some stress. And then it allows you time to be able to use your brain for like creative things or like like challenge group invites that I know you like to avoid doing.
Right.
If you already have it scheduled, you can't be like, oh, well, I don't have time to do a challenge group invite. I'm like, well, you already scheduled your 5 posts, so you should have plenty of brain power today to come up with one fantastic post. And then also, another thing, are you utilizing, I do this, are you utilizing the on this day every day? Because I'm pretty sure you have some really cool posts that you did last year or the year before.
Yeah, I use some of them.
That you can recreate.
Yeah.
Okay. And even if there's ones that you feel like you don't, like you're like, I don't need to use it, I still copy and paste them and save them onto my phone.
Okay.
Just to have them, because there might be like, oh, maybe, this one could make sense later on. Or like today I didn't have any. Today I just had this one. But I use them all the time because it's useful. Like you're not always going to be able to think of some amazing, really cool theme every single year or wording every single year. You know, and again, it's just like Teamzy. It just gives you that starting off point. Maybe you're just burnt out, you know, one day and you're like, I don't know what the hell to say. I have no idea. And then you look at what you wrote last year or 2 years ago and you're like, oh yeah, I could do that. I did that yesterday. I just switched the name. I changed the name and I changed the date. And I changed the examples of the workout programs because I'm not really pushing T25 anymore.
Right.
You know, it's like 21 Day Fix and Quarter 4. So I changed the names and stuff like that. But the initial message is still the same. And so that just helps you again. One less post, one less long-winded thing you have to think about.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's it. I just wanted to make sure, I'm just trying to find ways to help you guys as far as when it comes to your posting. Because I know you guys are fantastic at the daily things that we do. You know, showing up, you know, our shake, our workout, sharing, you know, our challenge groups, you know, when they're upcoming. We're really great at that, you know, I think, and we're sharing what we write, so that really helps each other. But I think to fill in the blank spaces in between that.
I have no other content but that. I know it, but right now, I'm trying not to use it as an excuse, but I can barely stay focused on that.
Right.
I'm really trying hard. I know that if I don't start doing more, I'm not going to make any more money.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm barely surviving to stay alive today, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm trying. I'm really trying. And my poor Teen Cup group, I feel so bad. But
I do too. I've been so out of it, just trying to work on me.
right.
Okay. I haven't really been able to motivate them, but it's okay. I mean, what do you need help with? Okay, I'm coming.
You can go. Go.
Okay, hold on. Okay, what do you need help with? What? Show me. All right, sorry. He didn't need my help. It was just his iPad was dead.
Oh.
Of course. I need help. Yeah, iPad's dead. So, yeah, I mean, that's where I feel like where you're at right now, instead of having to try to use your brain and think of all these amazing things, just do what I did, you know? Find a blog or, you know, a recipe blog or whatever, and just share like maybe 2 or 3 recipes, you know, in a week.
Okay.
And that's already done, you know, and then it just, you don't have to worry about it. It's just like, okay, got that done. Or, what else was I was going to say something else and I can't think of it.
I can pre-schedule my invites too.
Yeah, you can pre-schedule your invites, or, I mean, I swear to God, look around your house. What are the things that you buy all the time? Right?
Right.
That can be your post. Just one product. Like I said, like your coconut oil or, you know, your cooking spray. It doesn't have to be a full thought, you know, and adding a hook and then adding a, you know, call to action and talking about your challenge group invite. It can literally just be really quick, you know, like I did today, you know, like I'm addicted to Poshmark, you know, next to Amazon.
Right.
That's done. So your posts can be like little breadcrumbs, and they don't have to have anything else to it. Just another little insight into your life.
Okay.
You know, so like look at your cabinet or your cupboard or whatever, and pick a product. Peanut butter. I don't know.
Okay.
Do you still eat like those like power bar kind of like protein bars?
No.
No. I was gonna say you could just do that. Show them take a picture of this. Like I've been eating this for however many years, or I'm sure there's something.
I could take a picture of all my eggs. I still eat 40
There you go.
eggs a week.
That's like super quick picture. Take a picture of eggs. I eat this many eggs. You, how many? Question mark. Done.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So just, be easy on yourself, don't put so much pressure, but still try to put a little bit of, I would say just think of trying to get 1 or 2 pre-scheduled ones that have nothing to do with inviting to a challenge group. And it's just something about you.
Okay.
Super quick, done, move on to the next. And you don't have to do an entire week, just like today, pre-schedule tomorrow's.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just start going a day ahead. For me, I go like a week ahead.
Right.
I'm used to it. I even used to go a month ahead. I used to do every Wednesday was a recipe.
Right.
Like every Monday was a motivational video. I'm going to get back to that eventually. I'll get my ish together, but right now it's 1 week ahead at a time.
Right.
I have a few recipes that I found, like a lot of extra ones. I was like, well, crap, I can't do one recipe every single day. To me, that's just too much.
Right.
For the chance. So I'll do one every 2 or 3 days. So I've got them until the end of, I've got it till like the second week of March. I have a couple recipes. The recipes are always so easy to do.
Right.
I mean, even if you take a picture out of the Fix 8 cookbook, or you can even just take a picture of the Fix 8 cookbook, talk about it real quick, and then if you want the full recipe, message me and I'll give it to you.
Right.
Yeah. Make it coveted, like it's like and make them do some work. Why are we having to type everything and give it all to them? If you want this so badly, come to me. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you can do that. Sharing some products and recipes. That's it. And at least that'll keep you busy, sort of distracted, but it's not like bogging you down mentally to have to try to come up with a cohesive message. You know what I mean? And I think that's just good practice to get you to sort of start to open up.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going